You're gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. All right, testing. 1, 2 to the 3, baby. Actually, let's take it all the way to the 9, because that's 9 unbeaten for your boys in gold. But guess what? This is a Mixtape 615 podcast, and we are the voice of who? The fans. That's you. We, all of us in this thing together. And we're going to talk some Nashville NSC real quick. So lock in with your boys. I'm your boy, Tunji, a.k.a. Young Turtle, the Soccer Face, SF Doom, the DR Kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi, Yamame Por Favor. In approximately 1 week, I will be Mr. Sipping my ties on this beach in Belize, feeling cool, like a summer breeze. I cannot wait, bro. I'm telling you, much needed vacation, baby. Much needed vacation.
Good.
AKA, catch me at Lucky's 3-star bar, testing my luck with an unhinged number of Malort shots and glizzies. Call me Chicago Mike. And once again, this is a Mixtape 615 podcast, and we got a guest here. You guys know who he is. Shay, for the people who don't know, can you reintroduce yourself?
What's up, guys? My name is Shay. I want what Tunji is on, aka Stomatos, your favorite agent, here to talk numbers, here to talk players, and here to talk upcoming transfers. I'm going to kick it over to the man. Well, let's say the second man of the hour. That's Logan.
The man of the hour. That is Lucky Logan, a.k.a. Beer Main, a.k.a. Manga Man, and you guys know what it is. This is the Mixtape 615 podcast, brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, and all of soccer, and all the world. And you guys want to jump in with us, just go into mixtape615.com. That is mixtape615.com. Jump in with us this year, because it is a banger of a year. There's a ton of soccer news out there in the world. Obviously, our hearts go out to those in the Liverpool area who have been injured and affected by the tragedy that happened during the parade. So we do shout out to them. We do give our love and support there. It is absolute madness. There's no place in soccer. Two retired jerseys and players left and right throughout this last week. There's a ton of soccer news out there, but we're bringing it back into Nashville. We're actually going to take it back up to the Cleveland Crew, where
Cleveland Crew.
Oh yeah, you know, when they decided they wanted to play in Cleveland 2 hours away against a certain player instead of, you know, taking it at the house where where
we're gonna call them out for not.
I mean, I'm gonna call them out.
You got to make that money when you can make that money in MLS, man.
Yeah,
hey, here's the thing. We've made that money without having to sacrifice our area, because we got the dopest stadium in all of the MLS. I'm going to call it out all day. Guys, we just had a match that just happened. As of this recording, as of the live that you are hearing right now, if you're on our YouTube, shout out to you guys. Get in the comments. We want to hear from you. We just finished a 2-2 draw against the Cleveland Crew.
A 2-2 victory, sir. A 2-2 victory.
It was a draw. I'll say it this way, man. I'll be as honest as I possibly can. We got away, I think, with a 2-2 draw. Joe was on
hold on. I'm so sorry, dog.
Joe and our defense were on one last night.
This is literally like last night in the spaces. Everyone I've talked to about this game, literally, y'all are forgetting where we were a year ago. We did not have a chance in lower.com stadium. And now we snuck away. You saying we snuck away a point? We definitely, maybe we snuck away, but like, guys, we've got to show a little bit more.
It was a strong point.
Like, we got to know when we've made this forward progress. And last night was forward progress, dude. I don't understand why everybody's being so cool and nonchalant now.
I'll say this. It was great progress from last night. It was good to see our boys get another point. It's also good to see us in third place in the East right now, which is insane. Fourth place in the Shield race. That is also insane. 9 unbeaten. Insane. It almost ties our record from 2 years ago. We are also sitting unbeaten in the month of May so far, with only 1 game left to play against NYCFC on Saturday. This is definitely a run to remember, a time to remember. BJ this is not a time to shy away from where he is at. This is not a time to shy away from what he has done for this club so far and the crazy turnaround that has happened.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. And once again, I feel like the supporters, the fan base, that they're just not respecting it enough.
I
I
agree.
don't know. What does it look like from the
It's
outside,
not
Shay?
a
What do you
new
think?
thing for Nashville, though. Nashville's had these stretches in the past, and we've discussed it on ends. Even when I'm on the show, is Nashville just doesn't finish, right? They don't finish the season, so maybe it's just a little bit of caution by the fans. Maybe it's one of those we've seen this story before, but let's give BJ credit and let me throw out some numbers here for you guys. Last year, we often discuss the same topic when I'm on the show here. It's the goals, the expected goals, expected goals to concede,
Yep.
and essentially what is brutally known as Nashville's 2024 midfield.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
and I think what happened here, you're seeing significant change that they addressed, and it's working. So last year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we'd have to go back and look. There was a time when Nashville was the bottom 5 of expected goals to be scored and expected goals to concede. So they were giving up a lot of high quality chances, and they weren't getting a lot of high quality chances. You know what they are this year? Top 5 of both.
That's
They're top
huge.
5 of both. They're number 5 of both. So what does that mean is, and we're going to get to these players in a minute, but we're creating dangerous opportunities and we're not giving that up. And we harped on that last year. It started in the midfield. It always started in the midfield. Nashville went out, fixed that problem, and here we are. Well, we had a lot of questions, and looks like BJ had all the answers.
I mean, yeah, it looks like he had all the answers within the first 90 seconds of this last match. We came out not it definitely took a deflection for Sam, which was great, but we were on that front foot, on the gas in that first 10 minutes for sure. Not only creating a second chance for us to be able to go down and score in that first 10 minutes as well, but getting that first goal within 80 seconds. Guys, it wasn't even a minute and 20 seconds in, and that goal was finished out by Sam. The brace on Saturday, this last Saturday, was insane. It was great to see that year over year from him inside Toronto. But at lower.com stadium, getting that start and staying on the front foot, on the gas there, and being able to keep that going for that first 10 minutes really did set Nashville in a good position to basically hunker down in the way that they had to throughout the rest of that first half.
Well, yeah, I mean, all right. So if you think we talk about 2024 Nashville, right? And this is why I'm still just like so impressed with what I saw last night. You we ended that game with what, 33% possession, right?
Yep.
Nashville last year, or 37, whatever it was. Nashville last year, first and foremost, I don't think they would have gotten out on the front foot, gotten that score early on. And even if they did, I don't think they would have had the ability to capitalize and withstand the onslaught that Columbus Crew brought, because it wasn't all peaches and cream after that goal. After that goal, Columbus kind of woke up. Was like, hold on, what we losing? We're losing. We're down 1-0 to Nashville, to Honky Tonk SC. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yep.
actually, you could see it. I mean, it was a barrage. And Nashville, to their credit, they bent, but they never broke, which is something that that is a mentality that BJ has instilled. If it was there in the Gary Smith era, then it's now been taken to a whole new level that I can depend on as a fan. You're saying, Shay, that we should throw caution to the wind, or not, or that the fan base is being cautious. I am past that point now. I believe in BJ. This is uniquely Nashville soccer. Even after we scored, they dominated us. We bent, we never broke. Columbus came into that game. I could tell they thought they were going to walk away with 3 points, but at a certain point, we made them scramble. They had to scramble to salvage a point out of this. You know what I'm saying? This is we like, dude. We like to complain a lot, Nashville fans, Nashville sports fans in general, that the media doesn't give us the coverage we want. After this game, them boys over there on MLS Wrap Up or whatever, you know what they described us as? An Eastern Conference powerhouse. We're finally proving why you shouldn't count us out.
And that's exactly
Coyotes
what we are.
die hard, baby.
It's insane to watch, like, honestly, and yeah, people are gonna complain. I mean, shoot, I saw on the Facebook fan page last night, or maybe it was
Oh,
early
what are
this
they
morning.
saying over there?
Oh, no, it was great. Somebody posted up, "Let me guess, you guys are disappointed with a point and a draw in Columbus." And I was like, "Honestly, a little bit," like, which is insane to think about because a year
No,
ago,
bro.
like you said, a year ago, this would not have been a discussion. A year ago, we would have been elated to get that point there. But with the quality of the play that we have seen this year from the midfield, with the quality of play that we have seen out of Hany and Sam, who are two of the top scorers, two of the top goal contributors in the game right now, in MLS right now. Guys, this is not just a one-off. Those are the only two. This is the only club. Nashville SC is the only club that has two separate goal contributors with 12 or more contributions.
Well,
That is huge.
you're hitting on it. What separates the successful Nashville of old from the successful Nashville of now is you can hang in those games when you give up 2 goals to a good team. You can score, you have a threat offensively. In the past, it was so orchestrated on defense, but as I mentioned before, now you have that offensive, that offensive power behind you, that pressure you can put on teams offensively. Nashville's in every game going forward.
Yeah.
So there's reason to believe.
I believe in NSC. I believe in NSC.
Oh,
I believe in NSC. Yes, sir, dude. What do you think about the lineup, Logan? What do you think about the starting lineup?
So
It was an interesting one.
the starting lineup last night was it was pretty close to our norm. It was pretty close to our starters. I think it was interesting seeing Walker come in against Toronto and seeing him not get the start against Columbus. It's a little interesting. I don't think it was unexpected, but it was a little bit of a surprise. Um, I also am glad that we had Yazbek and Tagseth in early. I think those two work really well in the midfield for us. I was wondering with Johnny Perez, that him being in the start when I know we have a healthy Schaffelberg, and I think Kasim was in the start as
Yep,
well, right?
that's what I was
And that's
focusing on. We
it's
had
it's the
Kasim
two
and
wings.
Perez.
Yeah, it's the two wings that were um interesting in the way that they decided that. And it's funny because if you watch the way that they played, it's almost like they switched positions several times, where they each took the other side of where they wanted to play. So, as far as the lineup goes, that was the biggest question I had is why we started those two, knowing we had a healthy Schaffelberg who, yes, played a lot of minutes on Saturday and will likely play a lot of minutes this coming Saturday. So, yeah, you want to rest him, but man, there's a lot to work with out of Kasim. There's a lot to work with out of Johnny. I need to see a little bit more production out of both.
I think it's just BJ Callahan magic wizardry with the rotation because I mean you had Schaffelberg against Toronto. I think he played about 58 minutes. Not the best performance from Schaffelberg. Let's be honest. Then you had Alex Mawil on the other side, who played about 85 minutes. Like I'm trying to understand why not put Kassem if you know you're going to rotate. If you know, like this has been a busy month for them. If you know you're going to rotate, and again, BJ, I think is doing a great job rotating the guys, getting everybody the rest they need, but still making sure that we're defending what we've earned so far in terms of positioning on the table. But like, why not play Kassem and Perez against Toronto? And then put your better players against Columbus Crew. Like I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not I'm not
Well,
the coach. I'm not the gaffer.
it could. I mean, we've seen what happens with injuries when players get fatigued. We do have not just the Club World Cup upcoming, which we can talk about later, but we have the Gold Cup upcoming. And one of those names that, we're going to hear called likely for that. I got to check. I don't know if you guys correct me, is Schaffelberg.
Yeah,
So
Probably. Yeah.
limiting
likely.
limiting a workload now, knowing he's going to get a lot in the Gold Cup if he gets called up. And again, sorry, I didn't check. It could be part of a long-term play. I mean, they're sitting in a good enough position where regardless, how they go into this break, winners or losers, it's a long break ahead. And he knows that coming back is going to be more important probably than how they finish this last game upcoming.
Yeah. And I think he will likely get called up. You're also going to see some guys getting called up with U20s work with guys like Corcoran, guys like Chris Applewhite are on the talking, sheets for that, which is great. Wyatt Meyer is on the talking sheets for that. So there's a lot of guys in our squad that normally we would rotate in, and some of those guys did get to play last night. And so, there is going to be some rotation that has to happen. And honestly, I think uh resting Schaffelberg for this upcoming weekend was a smart play. I think um resting guys like, Chris Applewhite for this weekend is a smart play. I think not starting Walker so that he can come back and be in the start this week or this weekend is a smart play. So I think the depth that we have now, it's kind of interesting because we complained about depth all year last year.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting with a solid depth and a quality of depth that we can rely on, and we're confused as to why we're starting some of the depth guys over some of the others when we know this weekend we're going to need those same guys. I mean, look at where Columbus is, and look at where NYCFC are. They are 1 and 2 right below us. They're the two teams that are directly below us right now in the same points race, in the same running. We have to do everything we can to beat both of them. Neither of them are teams to sleep on. So, yeah, when you have to rotate one or two guys in one match to play them 3 days later, it's gonna have to be the calls that you make. I don't
Yeah.
envy BJ for that.
Not at all. And I think the thing is, BJ has more trust in his guys than we as fans do, which is kind of, I guess that's to be expected, obviously, because he knows what they're capable of. He sees it day in, day out. But it's like us being the once bitten, twice shy fans that we are. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we see like a Johnny Perez out there, and we're like, oh, is he ready? Oh, we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think it's time again. I'm at that point, and you guys remember where I was with BJ when we were in talks of picking up
Yeah.
Shay. You were right here
Yeah,
with
I
us
do remember.
actually.
Yep.
I was not on the train. I was not on the bandwagon. Now, let me tell you something. Forget the wagon. Come join the band, bro. I'm here. I am ready for the BJ. But whatever he's gonna show us,
The
whatever he's
jazz
gonna
that
take
he's
us,
creating.
bro. The promised land is out there, and BJ is taking me there. Milk and honey, baby. Milk and honey.
Yeah.
Well, we do, we've got a lot of matches that we've played. We are 9 unbeaten right now. We've only got 3 in June. We are taking a small break, a little 2-week off, which is going to be nice for our guys. They deserve that break. They're taking that 2 weeks. So I want us to kind of transition this a little bit because during that 2-week break, Shay was kind of talking to us about it a little bit before. I want us to kind of talk about this. Shay, I want you to discuss it a little bit more. But there is going to be a special summer window opening. And the question is, do we have guys that we need to add, or is there anything that we need to add to this squad to make it even better? Is there another level that we can get to? And that's going to be a question for us to answer. But Shay, talk to us a little bit more about this special summer window that we have.
Yeah, so we have the Club World Cup upcoming. It's here in the U.S. It is an expanded tournament of the best clubs in the world. Okay, so
Minus
we're
Miami.
I don't even know what the status of Miami is right now with that. Now
They need to be kicked out. Absolutely need to be kicked out before they embarrass themselves.
They already have. Pessy and Club have already
that's for
been
another
doing that.
day. Yeah, their eligibility. But what's happening here is there's a need and a desire for a lot of big players to play in this. All right.
Yep.
And so I'm not saying this is why FIFA put in this, let's say, exception here. But now from many federations have this ability to bring in players from June 1st to June 10th. This is the first time I've seen this. It's a special window. And the next official secondary window doesn't come until July. I was actually wrong about that earlier because I had forgot how the 10-day window shifted back, secondary window. But this 10-day window now essentially gives Nashville the ability to bring in some people from out of federation. Will they? I'm not expecting it. I think it's one of those, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But maybe BJC is something we don't. I say there's always a secondary window. We have time. To be fair, there's injuries that are going to be coming. Why jump the gun when those spots might be needed later down the road? We'll see.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I mean, shoot, I think like there's a couple thoughts in my head for some of this. In that window, I think some of it is we need to shore up the guys that we have that are on loan. One in particular is Johnny Perez. If we don't purchase him, he's gone in July. He is on loan still from LA Galaxy. For those of you who don't remember that, he's only been on loan. So we need to see where he's at. I think we gotta really decide what we want to keep and go for the things that we need. But honestly, the things that we need are already there. I think we have a solid squad. We just have to shore up keeping our squad.
Are we certain because I also see that there's potential he's on loan till the end of the year. Have we confirmed if that's going to come up now or if his options through the end of the year?
I mean, if it's through the end of the year, that's much better than what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that it's July.
That's probably why, Logan, we haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
It could potentially be now. Things happen where these would have been extended until it can happen where you extend a loan and it's not publicized. He's not a player probably would make the news with this. So that could be the situation, something that we want to check into. But that could be a reason why we haven't heard much urgency from the club.
Yeah. Tunji, what are your thoughts on this?
One, I want to know personally from you, Logan, like if you think Johnny Perez deserves to get his loan bought out with Perez is I mean, LA Galaxy can call him back at any time they want at this point.
Do they need to? Do they want to?
The question is, do they need to? Do they need to? Yes.
I feel like they need to. That's the other thing that we have to think about is we may want him, but LA Galaxy still retains like the rights to his contract. So, it might cost us more depending on their situation. I don't know if he helps them or not. In terms of the terrible, terrible, terrible time that they're having over there right now. Dude, I saw
unbeaten,
San Jose Galaxy,
15 winless, right?
San Jose Galaxy. San Jose Earthquakes were just taking them to task on Twitter last night. If you haven't seen the tweets, these are legendary tweets, dude. Absolutely legendary tweets. Go see them.
They took them to town at their house, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting to see that NorCal, SoCal beef in action from this side of the equation. But if you ask me about Johnny Perez, do we need to pick up his contract? Do we include him as one of our summer window options? I'm going to say it really depends on who else is out there right now. Because while I do feel like we could use another shifty winger, I do feel like we could use another attacking option, whether it's in the midfield or up front with Sam, someone helping Hany out, Hany and Sam, the new Batman and Robin, Batman and Superman, whichever. We're going to talk about that in a second. I feel like if you need an attacking option, I'm not sure, honestly, from Nashville SC if they need another attacking option right now because of the way that Sam is coming on lately and Hany's turning on lately. But if they do, then I'd say, okay, well, is there a better option out there than Johnny Perez? If so, let's go after that. If not, then we've got the familiarity. He's in the system. We kind of know how to work him. Maybe a few more years, and he might be a real piece for us. So that's my roundabout answer to just say I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you buy him out or keep him or send them back to the terrible bonfire trash
that is LA.
garbage dumpster fire that is LA Galaxy right now. Sorry, LA Galaxy fans, if you're in the chat.
Oh, speaking of in the chat, somebody else has entered in with us.
Dumpster fire.
Speaking of dumpster fires, as far as the hair color.
Look. Y'all haven't said it. I'm gonna say it. What Nashville needs to do in the summer window is sure up an international roster spot. Bring home Woobens Pacius so that we have a true attacker as a rotation player with Sam and not Teal Bunbury.
Preach.
You're
just going to give up all of that leadership, innate leadership talent.
I'm not saying kick him out of the locker room.
Oh,
I'm not saying kick him out of the locker room.
Make him a player coach.
But
make him a player coach. Yeah, that's definitely the trajectory.
As we saw in the very boring, U.S. Open Cup match against Chattanooga, Teal Bunbury had multiple chances that he would definitely want back.
Hey, Johnny Perez also had a solid chance and was that close to getting that goal in, as well as last night hitting the banger off the post. I'm telling you, he is so close and has been a contributing factor in several matches already this year.
Hold on one second, because this is also going on to our other, it's not just
our other
on
platforms.
YouTube. So
Austin
people might
has
wonder
now entered the mix.
Who this random leprechaun voice is. Austin, can you tell them who you are, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, guys? Y'all know me. I'm Wildman. That's why I'm known as Wildman. I just invade the live.
Apparently.
Nice. Austin, do we keep Perez or do we ship him back to LA?
I like him. I think his development is coming. It's slower than we wanted. However, I think about Schaffelberg, how he came in from on loan from Toronto and how he developed, and then he kind of developed a little bit quicker. However, y'all have already talked about it on here. We didn't have a midfield back then. And so now that we do have a midfield, we do have those wingers. I think that we're seeing a slower development from Johnny Perez than we would like. However, I am seeing him develop.
Well, remember, Austin, I'm going to cut you off here, is his development doesn't matter for Nashville unless they buy him.
Yes.
And we haven't heard that yet. Agreed. Has anybody heard that his option or that the option to buy has been exercised? I haven't heard that yet.
No, it hasn't yet.
18 months, right? That's really weird. I think it's been that's really weird. So
and maybe it could be because it wasn't BJ's choice to bring him over. Like when that happened, maybe he's not looking at Johnny Perez as that's my guy. He's just using the tools that he has in his chest right now. Maybe we do see that shift, and there's a reason that they haven't bought him yet. Maybe you see a shift in the summer window where he adds a player that he's actually wanting, that he's looking at. Because, we're seeing these international players coming in with Yazbek and with Tagseth and Kasim that he's bringing in. And so maybe he's looking overseas. I think that Johnny Perez, though, if we do exercise the option to buy him, I think that he is something that could actually add a lot for us in goal scoring opportunities, because look at what he did last night against Columbus. He had a great run into the box turn and barely missed wide right, but that's something that I feel like he could actually do.
Well, he's a cheap option, so let's see.
Well, I'll say this. When it comes to goal scorers and what we're doing right now, let's talk a little bit about who we have in those goal scorers. I know we mentioned it already, but we've got two players, the only team in the MLS right now that has two players with 12 or more goal contributions, and people that are lighting up the stage right now are Hany and Sam Surge. Sam has 3 goals in the last 2 matches. Hany, yes, only has 1 in the last 2, but has been on fire this year. I would say close to his contributions when he did the MLS Golden Boot. He is up there. When he got his MVP, this is up there with that. His showings this year are truly remarkable.
I mean, yeah, I think they're great.
I think I saw. I'm trying to remember. Was it Ben Wright that actually said something about he's actually at the level, or maybe even beyond the level of his MVP season at this point in the season?
Yeah, I think Ben said he was
Hany?
beyond the level at the moment.
Yeah, Hany.
I mean, he's up there, dude. I mean,
because he always starts off slow, even in his MVP season. He started off a little bit slower.
Well, he's creating dangerous chances. And I love numbers, guys. He's number 2 in expected goals in the MLS.
Yep.
And I know that.
And what is he in key passes? He's definitely up there in key passes as well.
I'm not sure. I would have to check, but the reality is he's creating those chances. So if you saw he's a little bit slow to start, usually those will start to fall. So, you know, he's better than yours truly, Lionel Messi, right? So number 2, and then you're going to get to him, Sturridge. He's also top 10. Nashville's creating dangerous chances, and we harped on this last year. You need that from your superstars, right? And you know, you want to see that, hey, as a 9, Sturridge, you want to see that from your 9, right? So
drop the T, it's Surge.
Surge.
Super Sam Surge.
Surge is a fish. Surge is a player.
And we weren't seeing it last year, so you have to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is so little to complain about, and yet, you know, y'all said it earlier, Nashville fans are always going to find some way to complain.
Well, it's not just Nashville fans, and if you guys will permit me a second here, I need to get this off of my chest. Earlier, I believe it was yesterday, actually, about 21 hours ago, something like that. A certain reporter responded to my good friend Denzel of Nash on X, when Denzel was lamenting about the star status of Hany Mukhtar and Sam Surge in the overall league. And he said he replied with this tweet: Mukhtar is a very good player, but he's a star in Nashville's niche soccer community. Niche soccer community. Again, he's talking about one of the most filled stadiums, the largest soccer specific stadium.
How about niche, like
consistently
in terms of supporting, or in terms of soccer? Because we talked about this last year. It's the academies are having their playoffs in Nashville.
I don't know.
They stole it from Dallas.
We don't know what he's talking about.
The academy hotbed. Nashville is
he is a so-called reporter.
Look at the market size.
No, he's a reporter.
National games come to Nashville. U.S. Soccer plays in Nashville.
Yep.
I mean, if you look
the send-off match is in Geodis before Gold Cup, right? Or Nations.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. The output from the size of this community.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Nashville's also hosting.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Here, let Tunji continue. We've got our gripes.
Off my chest.
Yeah.
Felipe Cardenas also said that he said he's a star in the Nashville niche soccer community, not beyond it. Anyone who thinks Nashville SC is a star-studded team is delusional. Okay, I'll admit that. That is okay, fine. But then he goes on to say that making the best 11, which Hany Mukhtar has done, doesn't make you a league star. Let's set the record straight on Hany Mukhtar real quick. The idea that he's just a niche Nashville star, the notion that Mukhtar isn't a league-wide star, it's not only lazy, it's factually wrong, bro. It ignores the impact he's had on league soccer as a whole. Look, every week we get on here, I get on here, you get on here, all of us get on here, and we give Hany crap. That's because it's our guy. It's on our team. Yep. We're supposed to hold his feet to the fire. But let's look at what he's done. Let's look at his credentials. Beyond Nashville, let's look at his credentials. 2022 MLS MVP Golden Boot winner. He didn't just win the MVP, he dominated the league. He ran away with that, bro. 23 goals, 11 assists, 34 goal involvements, tied for 5th most in a single MLS season, directly responsible for over 65% of Nashville's goals. Bro, you don't win the MVP and Golden Boot. Again, he won both of those. You don't win that by being a niche player.
He won both in the same season.
Same season. Consistent elite production from 2021 to 2023. Y'all know what happened after 2023. He led all of MLS in 54 goals in that time period. 14 more than the next closest player. That's not just good, okay? That's not just good, Felipe. That's generational. He's the engine of Nashville's attack, even in the down years. His numbers and chance creation is elite, as we just said. League recognition. Bro, he's been named to the MLS team of the match day multiple times. He's been voted MVP. He was voted MVP with nearly half of the total votes and like literally 78% of the media vote. That's not local bias. How is that local bias? That's league-wide respect. My guy is carrying the franchise, bro. He is carrying the franchise and the MLS on top of that. He's in all of their commercials. They know who he is. He is defined by performance, not by hype. Him making the league's best 11 is the standard for Hany Mukhtar. That is the standard for us when we look at Hany Mukhtar. And when he falls short of it on match day to match day, we call him out for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Messi is having such a great year right now with 11 goals, you know what I'm saying? Hany Mukhtar be 11 goals. Hany Mukhtar XG plus XA is 14.4. Lionel Messi is XG plus XA is 11.8. Why is Lionel Messi considered a star? I understand why he's considered a star, but let's talk about now.
I understand why he was considered.
Let's talk about now. How is he considered a star and Mukhtar isn't?
Yeah,
I'll rest my case.
I don't know if it's just impactful, but
I'll agree with you on a lot of that. I'll agree with you on a lot of that, Tunji. We have a guy who not only has been named player of the match day for several matches now, but also has been named team of the match day several times, has also been named to the MVP all-star matches, the MLS all-star matches several times. He is in the runnings to likely be there again this year, was there last year. Let's just be honest. This is a guy who is elite, not just for Nashville, yes, but he is a league star in every sense of the phrase.
Of course he is, bro. Of course he is, bro.
Like, it's just is what it is, man.
No, mic drop away, bro. You're 100% right. The only other question that we have right now is on the team right now, as we sit here right now with the results that we're looking at between him and Sam Surge, is who's Batman and who's Robin.
And that could vary match to match, but
yeah.
Does Batman need Robin, or does Robin need Batman? I think that
if he's Nightwing, no.
I think that you could say that they need each other. You know, like
they are a dynamic duo for a reason.
You know, it's hard to say who's who, because I think that changes any given match. This match, Hany set up Sam for his tap in, and then was it Sam was in the box or made a run when Hany got his?
I don't think Sam was actually involved on Hany's at all.
I know he didn't get the assist.
I think
he was like taking up space, maybe.
Yeah, Schaffelberg ran in, and then I think it was
Yazbek.
Was it Yazbek? Yeah,
no.
Yazbek. No.
No, it was the quick throw. It was the quick throw. Sorry.
That was the quick throw. I think Schaffelberg ran it in, and then Hany finished it. So let's be honest. Like, Hany's been involved in a lot of that. This is something that we got to know, you know, or all of us, you know, already know rather, that it is Hany who is leading this team out in a lot of different ways, on and off the ball. Sam is putting the ball in the back of the net, which is exactly what his position is supposed to do. I think Hany is finally creating, and the team, Tunji, you said this before already, the team is starting to step up to Hany's level.
I mean, I've been saying it for a little while. I've been saying that Hany is still Hany. A lot of people gave up on him very quickly. And I was calling it early, where he was leading the team in key passes, leading the team in shots, leading the team in shots on target. I think that Nashville is actually leading the league in shots on target right now.
Yep.
And we've got Sam Surge and Hany Mukhtar doing that. Hany Mukhtar is definitely doing that. So, you know, I mean, this is just something that we have to look at and have to talk about. If Nashville is going to be that elite team, who's going to get us there? And I think that Hany is still that.
I mean, Shay, you're the guy who's let's be real. Shay, you're the guy who's played on competitive teams in the past. You are involved in several different contracts throughout the league. Do you think it matters who's in the pecking order when it comes to this at that level?
No, absolutely not. Especially not in someone like BJ's system. Absolutely not. Then it also takes some pressure off, I think, the players. So, no, I mean, I think at the end of the day, look, let me put it this way from my experience is you're going to get acknowledged for what you do on the field as a good player. For these players, the people that matter are going to be able to acknowledge their performance regardless of where they are in the pecking order. Okay. They really don't care probably what we say here on this podcast about this and that. They probably really don't really care about our opinions. Right. So I think at the end of the day, these guys are professionals, and you know the accolades and the money that comes in their contracts is going to be from an overall picture. And I think at the end of the day, they put together a team that really looks like it's going to be focused on winning these games. So,
well, I think it's interesting that you pointed out in BJ's system. You said that in BJ's system, because before that, we never reached the goal mark that we've talked about all season, that everyone's talked about all season, that 50 goal mark that BJ wants to actually hit. Last season, the past few seasons, we've had to rely on Hany Mukhtar to get us. I mean, his MVP season, he had 23 goals and just himself, and we still didn't hit a 50 goal. So the rest of the team couldn't meet his level. Right now, we've got, 12 or 13 goal scorers. So the fact that in this system, you're saying that somebody doesn't care about being the star, I think you're right. And I think that we're seeing it because goals are coming from everywhere right now.
Yeah. You want a strong supporting cast, right? And look, Hany's not going to get, how do you say it, outshined, whatever, you know. He is a star, and I don't think he cares about being the star. And I think at the end of the day, he stays with Nashville because Nashville's also a city that embraces that. They're not a Miami. And so you know, they've built a good culture here, and I think like I've said, I think BJ's done a really good job of getting these players to buy in and then building a team that fits that culture. And that's why I think we're going to see a different team carry into the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, how many goals was it that we had as a whole in 23, 22, like those 2 years? I mean, we had what, 34, I think, 2 years ago in 2023. Guys, we're at 28 right now. Yeah. We're 6 goals shy of that, and we are not even halfway through the season. This system has changed the way that we're playing this game.
But again, he's reinforced the midfield, and I got to shout out my Honduran guys and like Andy Nahar, who's creating from the outside.
Love Andy.
It's not just we've spent 15 minutes talking about these two guys here, but you know, and then Brian Acosta, who's a veteran MLS guy at the 6'8" position. I mean, again, you got to be able to distribute and push the ball up. We talked about this so much last year, and that takes so much pressure off a guy like Mukhtar to over commit to playing something he's not.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that he's not having to be the guy, for sure. I love it. I mean, with the all-star votes starting up, you know, we all know who our star is, but the fact that he's not having to be the star.
Yeah. Everyone go vote for San Diego, San Jose, whoever we play right after the All-Star break. So everyone go vote all of their players in, just so that, you know, they're all tired and have to play an extra game and travel a little further. But I do think it is time for us to wrap this up. It has been a great episode. Shay, again, thank you for coming on. It is awesome to have
thank you.
It's a great time when our favorite FIFA agent is on with us. Austin, go ahead and wrap us up, my friend.
Well, now that I joined late, I get to wrap us. So thank you guys for joining. Thanks for letting me, crash the party late
Of course.
today.
Anytime, bro.
But we are going to wrap this episode. Big love to all of you guys for jumping in the chat. We love it when we get to do these live streams. This is a whole lot of fun for us. Thank you, Shay, again for jumping on with us. Always a pleasure. We will definitely have you on again, probably soon, because that summer window is coming close. And so big shout out to our ace producer. I was able to text him last minute, and he was able to throw me in real quick into the mix. Don't forget, stay connected. Hit us up at Mixtape 615 on all of our socials. You can hit us up on Facebook, X. Tunji over here has actually built up a good community on X. He goes live after every match. Is that right, Tunji?
It depends on how many shots of Malorts I've had. It has been some technical difficulties lately.
Okay.
And that's besides the Malort. But I'm working. I just want everyone to know I am working to figure out a system where every time the match ends, we can always hop on. We'll be there for like an hour or two after the match, just talking. Anybody wants to hop in can chat.
Yes,
so
jump on.
Please
what
look
is
out
it?
for
X
that.
Spaces now, not Twitter Spaces, but X Spaces.
Whatever
but yeah, hit us
feels
up
right
at
to you.
Mixtape 615. Also at mixtape615.com, you can find our merch. We have Juneteenth merch that just launched.
Oh yeah, and it's beautiful.
Yep. So order that quickly because Juneteenth is coming up quick. You can rock that gear with us. Hit us up right here if you are joining us live on YouTube at Mixtape 615 Pod. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. But guys, keep it real, keep it vibing, and until next episode, Mixtape 615 is signing off.
Deuces.